Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of 30 March 2021, coming to you tonight with a knife review from the sharpening bench variety on a knife I did not expect to own. Those of you who pay attention to this channel know that, oh gosh, a week and a half ago I headed down to East Tennessee, just north of Chattanooga, to visit Jay Rao and the boys at Knives Ship Free. And I told you in another recent From the Sharpening Bench video of the Spyderco Chaparral in Bird's Eye Maple that I was going to pick one of those up when I got down there, and I fully intended to do that. But a funny thing happened on the way to the forum. I ended up with this knife, the knife you are looking at, the Benchmade 4300-1 CLA, which stands for Composite Light Auto. And this is a knife, frankly, guys, that I completely overlooked in the last few years. Composite Light Auto, CLA, is Benchmade's moniker for their first G10 handled automatic knife. So it has liners and they're black against a black G10 surface, but think Griptilian. See that attachment screw? That's kind of the back of the liner. So there's just enough steel inside this G10 handle for a little bit of stability and enough to house the button lock automatic mechanism. And it's extremely light. Extremely light. 3.6 ounces. And that is with a 3.4 inch blade and a 4.45 inch handle. 114 thousandths blade stock. And a handle thickness of under half an inch. 490 thousandths. So an automatic knife, let's say 3 7/16 inch blade. Under 4 ounces. Yeah. So the reason I sort of became intrigued by this knife is from my buddy Peter that owns the Honda shop and a landscaping company. And he bought one of these, similar one, with the black smooth G10 handle and a combo edge blade, because they were like on a clearance sale at a website, and he thought it was a good looking knife, so he bought one. And guys, it has become his go-to work knife with his landscape company. It opens, bags of fertilizer, bags of salt. It does all kinds of tasks for him, and he likes that combo edge for those things. And what he told me is, Rob, the handle is super comfortable, and because one of the features of the CLA design is a rather large deployment button, he said, Rob, it works great in gloved hands. Now, Pete also has a Benchmade APB. Is that right? No. Not the APB. But he has an auto axis knife, and I can't remember the model. And he said, I can't work that in gloves. I can't get that axis bar as easily as I can that push button. So he likes it. And, you know, I held his in my hand. And I'm like, man, how did I miss this knife? So, yeah, I've coveted that knife, and they're kind of gone everywhere in the black handle, I think. But I got to Knife Ship Free, and I was getting ready to look at the Bird's Eye Maple Chaparrals, and I said, Jay, just on an off chance, you don't happen to have a CLA in stock, do you? And he goes, oh boy, do we. And he pulls this out. Look at the handle, guys. Now, I don't know this for a fact, but I would imagine somebody doing spring cleaning at Benchmade found a box of black and OD green G10 that didn't get used on some bone collectors and thought, the CLA might be on its way out. Why don't we do a -1, mill some texture into that black and OD G10, and we'll call it a -1. So they did. So you've got a nicely textured Svelte handle, 154 cm blade, Nice drop point, big swedge, Saber ground. Not super thin. This one's sharpened at 17 degrees per side with a 19 micro bevel. And oh guys, does 154 cm get sharp? Have we forgotten about 154 cm? Because I think maybe we have forgotten about 154 cm. And we should not have forgotten. It's good steel. It's really good steel. Especially if you use it and have to sharpen it. It's a really good steel. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I've always been a closet 154 cm fan. Mm-hmm. Now, other than the oversized deployment button, we've got the superfluous safety. But I got to say on this one, it's very positive. It's not going to go where you don't want it to go unless you bump it by mistake. But very positive, either on or off. So it's probably not going to mess with you. Action is superb. It's kind of funny. Listen to the difference in sound. I'm a lefty. I got the clip mounted left-handed. Thank you, Benchmade, for giving me the option. Listen to the sound when I grip it this way with the left hand versus the sound it makes right-handed. I think it sounds better right-handed. You hear that? Like we care, really, but we do, don't we? Yeah. Oh, and by the way, rock solid lockup and perfect blade centering. One other feature, take a peek down in the spine of the handle. The stop pin has that Benchmade sort of monolock style stop pin with 6 facets that are all a different distance from center, so you can make the knife lock up wherever you want in the button travel. This is how it came from the factory. I have not adjusted anything. Put in a drop of oil after I sharpened it, and that's it. They did a super job on this knife. Pocket clip, Parkerized deep carry, which most of you are going to like. I will probably put a Parkerized split arrow on it because the Parkerized split arrow is the best pocket clip ever on a Benchmade. Sorry, nothing. And in one particular grip, the deep carry clip causes me a little issue. So let's look at the ergos here. Saber grip. And this is another little sticky point, but notice how there's a little ramp at the front of the handle and then it drops off. So you get jimping in the liners and then a hump and then jimping at the top of the blade. I find the Saber grip behind that ramp a little cramped. I find it super comfortable if I come forward onto the spine of the blade. Maybe that's why they gave us 2 positions. Some guys might like it back here, but to me it kind of messes up the ergos of an otherwise great handle. So Saber grip is really good with an asterisk. Hammer grip, outstanding. Vertical draw cut grip, again, outstanding. I guess it was the standard draw cut grip. My pinky is sort of getting hot on the bend of that pocket clip. Now if it had a split arrow on it, that would be flat and then it would just come up here, so my pinky would clear. It just makes it very high and a little bit abrupt to have that clip there. See what I'm talking about? And then when we go reverse grip, the knife is absolute money. Absolute money. Workmanship, I think they killed it. I really do. Let's look at the base of the edge. You know, that is one of the niggly areas of a knife for me. So we have ricasso that just peeks out the front of the handle. A perfectly executed sharpening choil. Perfectly executed. When the knife is closed, the closed stop pin rests on that little flat. So if I need to maintain that sharpening choil as I sharpen away a blade, I can go in there with a Dremel or whatever and make it deeper this way without affecting any of the mechanics of the knife. But, you know, for the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 sharpenings, it won't need to be touched. The sharpening choil is properly located vis-a-vis the plunge grind, right? The texture on the handle, I find it not too aggressive, but plenty good enough for grip. And then in the pocket, and these deep carry clips aren't going to be have the most tension of any pocket clip, but you know, it makes a little noise coming in and out of the pocket, but I don't sense any shredding going on. So good job on the handle. I think it's rather attractive myself. Very squared away knife. Price on these, some of you guys are probably going to squawk about this, but $216 map pricing for a 154 cm blade and a G10 handle. You're going to say, man, that sounds like a lot of money for 154 cm, but it is a Benchmade automatic, and it has a price that doesn't start with a 3. So just keep all that in mind, right? I think it's kind of a stunner myself. And it's very lefty friendly for a basically right-handed design mechanism. Thank you again, Benchmade, for giving me a lefty clip mount. Don't know how many of these they made, and I'm noticing tonight as I peruse the interweb for availability that not everybody who had these still does. I know that Jay at Knife Ship Free still has a few. I bet you after this video's up for a couple days he won't have any, so don't wait. And I'm not sure they're going to make this one again. It kind of might be going away. So that, my friends, is all I have to report on that. The Benchmade 4300-1 Composite Light Auto in black and green milled G10. Nice work, Benchmade. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the Word and my CLA are sharp. Talk to you soon.